My name is Thomas Lovehart, and I'm running for Utah's 71st House District against the Republican incumbent Rex Shipp. And I'm running because I want to make Utah affordable again. Since the pandemic, we've seen the price of homes double. We've seen the price of our groceries double. We've seen the price of everything double or triple. And the only thing that doesn't seem to be going up is wages. This isn't sustainable, and it was never inevitable. Instead, it's the intentional result of his legislature that has been bought by corporate interests and is selling out their voters and their constituents to make money. Did you know that over 70% of Utah legislators in the House of Representatives and over 90% in the Senate have deep financial ties to the real estate and development industry? Knowing that, it should come as no surprise that despite talking about the housing crisis here in Utah, there's never any real policy aimed at addressing the housing crisis. I'm running on something called social housing. And what this is publicly owned, publicly funded, permanently affordable housing projects with rents tied to a percentage of the renter's income. We're willing to give giant tax breaks and subsidies to private developers to build affordable housing. Meanwhile, there's no guarantee that that housing actually stays affordable. And what we see time and time again is that it is sold on the open market a few years later. We should be willing to invest those same taxes into publicly owned infrastructure, the same way that we do for sewers and police departments. When we build housing that is actually designed to house people and not to squeeze every bit of rent profit that you can out of them, we find that housing can be a lot more affordable than it is. And when a portion of the housing stock, of the overall housing stock, is permanently affordable, that causes the prices everywhere to come down. Suddenly, families can afford to save up for a home again. They can afford to live near their job. They can afford emergencies. They can afford to send their kids to school. So much potential in our communities is unlocked when people can actually afford to live there again. The Republicans and property investors in our legislature are not going to make this happen. They benefit from a system that sees endless growth and as much housing as possible being built while working Utahns are still being priced out of their communities. We need representatives who actually represent their constituents. People who come from the same backgrounds and have the same struggles. Not politicians who defund our public schools with voucher scam programs while sending their kids to private schools, who try to overturn the will of the people in these ballot initiatives and institute unfair maps that disenfranchise voters, that are happy to see the Great Salt Lake receding to historic lows while they spend millions and millions of gallons watering their alfalfa farms. Not politicians who keep us pitted against each other in this meaningless culture war nonsense while they attack voting reforms like ranked choice voting that actually give us better representation. Republican or Democrat, we have to realize that just because someone says that they believe what you believe, that they hold your traditional values or your family values, doesn't mean they actually do. This November, I'm asking you to support a candidate in Utah that you probably never would have imagined yourself supporting. Somebody who actually wants to solve our problems. Someone that has nothing to gain from protecting a system that is rigged against working people and everything to gain from fixing it. You can learn all about me and what I stand for at votelovehart.com. And please, if you can, consider voting to my campaign because this is as grassroots as it gets. It's just me and you. If we want to build a better Utah and we actually want something different for our future, then we actually have to vote for something different. And even in deep red MAGA territory like Iron County, there are more of us than you think.